Alright, boys. Hello. Testing my audio. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure you can hear the game. And welcome to Trial Day. I hope you all are excited. I know I am. Changeling DJ, hello. I am here and I am not ready for court. Me every day. Alessio. Here we go again. Cosmetology Corner. Hey, how was your day? I have to start with a story today, so we're gonna get into it. Between Heaven and Hell, hi. Angel H, good to see you. Jacob Welsh, welcome to the chat. Thank you for letting me know sound sounds okay. Now, this should be an interesting trial day because, it's not a murder trial. I think for the first time ever, we're just, trying to get a guy off of the hook for, like, larceny, which, hey, I'll take. So, it's very, very different than anything we're used to before. But it should be, the stakes, I guess, should be lower today, so we'll see how that goes. Now, as for my story, let me load up the game first of all, so we have something to get ourselves acquainted with. Get started right away. We'll be in the court lobby. As I get ready to go into court, I have to tell you what had happened, because I feel like a really bad son. So, yesterday, I go to the gym, and I decide to stop at my parents' house. Because I do that a couple times a week, actually. They live really close to where my gym is that I go to. So it's not out of the ordinary for me to stop over and be like, hey, folks who gave birth to me, how's your lives going? And so I get there and they're not home, which on its own is not out of the ordinary because my parents are actually quite a bit more social than I am. So they go out, they have friends, they have lives. But what was a little bit weird is that I had been there the previous day too, and so they made soup, basically. And it's normal for people to have leftovers of soup, but there was soup still on the stovetop. The stove was not on, but the soup was still sitting out, and there were bowls of soup on, like, the dining room table. And what is out of character is that in my family, my parents, they are not the folk, my dad specifically, to leave a dinner plate that has food on it out. They're kind of like clean as you go people. So if they had plans to go out somewhere, they would have cleared their dishes and loaded the dishwasher. There was something peculiar and odd about the dishes not being loaded. And I noticed it as I walked in, and it was weird to me. So I made a mental note of it. I walk over to the sink, and in the sink, there is this giant piece of, like, glass that's designed to, like, house a candle, and it is shattered. And again, I'm like, that's a little bit weird. That's a little bit suspicious. But I'm like, you know what? It's probably, you know, these things happen. I come from a family of klutzy people. We break glasses sometimes, and sometimes you put them in the sink to be like, oh, let's deal with it later. But again, we have a piece of broken glass that hasn't been dealt with, and now we've got these soup bowls that haven't been dealt with. And I also see a little bit of red in the sink. And immediately I'm like, oh, that looks like blood. But then I look over to the side of the sink and I see that there is, like, a bunch of red candle wax that's, like, stuffed inside of, like, a box. And I'm like, oh, so the candle that must have been in this jar must have been a red candle. And so maybe that's some, like, red melted candle wax that was in the sink. Plain, you know, Detective Dick Gumshoe here, not the highest quality detective. I'm piecing puzzle pieces together and I'm like, there's some suspicious activity that seemed to have happened in this household and my parents are unaccounted for. A responsible son might have looked into this more. I was literally like, you know what? I will continue on. I'll leave this situation alone for today. I want to, you know, you don't assume the worst. At least I don't know. If I'm like, you know what? They probably broke a glass. They probably were running late for something and left out. I'll stop by the house tomorrow and, like, if they're not here or the situation hasn't changed, then I'll be deeply concerned and like, oh, this is something to look into. So I go back to the house today, and they are back home. So this is a good news. There was no murder, there was no kidnapping. But I walk in the front door, and I see my mother in this giant cast from her hand and down along her arm, and I'm like, oh, what happened? And basically what had happened was they spent the evening previous while I was in the house in the emergency room because apparently my mother was trying to clean that really giant glass candle holder thing, and apparently in the process of trying to clean it, it shattered and basically exploded into her hand, and so she got glass all inside of her everything, And apparently she now is scheduled to undergo surgery, and she's got, like, some surgery that she has to have done with something with regarding her thumb, her 2 fingers, and down along in her wrist. And I was like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. And then I felt really guilty for, like, you know, walking into that scene. And I mean, the situation was handled. There was nothing I was going to do. My father took her to the emergency room. That's why they weren't home. I assumed they had, like, gone out bowling. But no, they were having a much more eventful night. So that was that. And I know, as you guys are already dropping in the chat, how would you not call your mom? Why wouldn't you call first? I don't know. You don't want to disturb people if they're, like, out bowling. I thought I would be overreacting. Granted, like, this is why I feel like I'm a bad son. Okay, you should try to be more on the cautious side. It's better to be too cautious than not enough. I assumed the best case scenario, which was like, oh, I'm clearly overreacting. They clearly just, like, went out bowling. They were in a rush, and so they didn't put away their soup bowls. Now, if it looked like a bloodbath in there, or if, like, the stovetop was literally left on and there was still a flame burning, if there was something that was more urgent that looked really, really scary, I'd like to believe I would have taken it more seriously, but it was like, the things in the house, they seemed a tiny bit off, but nothing seemed so suspicious to me that I was like, oh, this is something I need to address immediately. Utter Terror, thank you for sending good thoughts to my mom. And thank you all for listening to this story, because I know that's not what you came here for, but I needed to get that off my chest. Because I just got home from my parents, so it was on my mind. Anyways, with that out of the way, consider that your warm-up, all right? This has been your warm-up, a little story time with George for the day. Wow, my lighting is a bit intense. But that's okay, I'll leave it just as it is. So, let's check in with the court lobby and see what Phoenix Wright is doing today. It's October 13th, 9:36 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey, Nick! What is it, Maya? Something wrong? Also, let me just tinker with my lighting. Just a hair. I don't know if that actually did anything. Nah, but did you see all the people in here? It's crazy! Oh, let's check out the mask-to-mask glossy I bought. Glossy? Whoa! Look at my dude. You bought this? Where? And how much did you spend on it?
From the little tents in front of the courthouse. We've got all sorts of stuff for sale.
And you know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff, Nick. Publicity photo, a shot of mask to mask, striking a pose. Great. Angel H, you will love this case. And Steven, I'm glad that your mom's okay. I hope everything goes all right with the procedure. Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty standard surgery, so we're not too worried about that. But, it was she's laughing about it now. And listen, my mother, bless her heart, I know that she's a little bit of a wimp, so I'm actually thankful I wasn't there because I can only imagine when that glass shattered in her arm, the blood-curdling shriek she probably let out. I can't imagine how loud she must have screamed. For sure, she must have been crying. Like, my mother's the kind of woman where, like, she stubs her toe and she'll, like, cry for an hour. And I love her to death. But, I feel like it would have been extraordinarily uncomfortable to have listened to the wailing and the horrible noises that probably came along with that injury. Curtis Price, hello! Come on, I'm guilty! Throw the book at me! Oh, is this our guy? Who's screaming like that?
Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it.
Yeah, I did. It doesn't look like things are going to be any less ugly for you.
It's because I did it. I'm the criminal. Me.
God bless your mom, Mr. Nick. He's at it again.
I sent the calling card to Lord Taylor. I admit it.
But you don't have the sacred urn, right?
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean I didn't commit the crime.
Normally, when I say of course he didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but with you, you just don't seem like the criminal type. A little twink.
Anyway, I admit I'm not guilty. So make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, I admit I am guilty.
Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie.
Oh, Dassy. Honey, but bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French at you at a time like this.
Leave it to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you.
Yeah, well, you see, actually, the thief is me. Can I tell you something, Nicka boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you.
Oh, okay. So why are you smiling when you say that?
Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck.
You know, we don't seem to make a lot of friends. We make a lot of colorful acquaintances. To be honest, I don't know whether Ron is mask to mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. I guess so. Alright, boys, let's take on this larceny trial. See what's going on here. October 13th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 6. Cosmetology corner. Most of my family passes out this life blood, so I'm not the one who has to, so I'm the one who has to deal with it. Yikes. Also, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge it, but holy crap, did you guys see the prosecutor? He was like a robot, was he not? I need to get a better look at this dude. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Yeah, whoa! Oh my god, that salt and pepper hair, that white tie, oh, that vest. You can see those arm muscles. And dude, who's that superhero that like shoots lasers out of his face and wears the same red beam? One of the X-Men? That's what this guy is. This is Godot. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared? What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear the arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? Cyclops. Yeah, thanks, chat. I am Godot. Oh. Legendary prosecutor. Never lost a case. Wow, so this is a real somber dude. This music. Ah, he's the one that Detective Atmey was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Ha, none. Wait, what? What did you say? I never prosecuted a case before. Ever? But you said you've never lost before. I guess you can never lose if you've never done it. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Wow, that's smooth jazz. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Wow, a beginner! This is new for us too. This game's throwing all kinds of new stuff at us. Usually our prosecutors are, pardon me, renowned experts who we have to defame by ruining their reputations. This guy doesn't even have a reputation. Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in a court of law. Huh. Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks. Are you from 2020, sir? Either on our faces or over our hearts. Wow. This guy's the real deal, all right, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So, we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Trite. It's Wright, actually. Nick! Is he a friend of yours? Nope. I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Just who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. With me? Well then, Prosecutor Godot. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. Right, in any case, please, your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Trite. Yeah, what's that? You familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. What was that? You're gonna break me in two? Listen, I'm here for it. Well then, let's hear from the first witness. Dick! Oh, my boy, I'm so happy to see you. My name is... No one's asked for your name, witness. Oh, sorry, pal. The important thing is what you know. That's all. Start talking. We're listening. Oh, yes, sir. All right, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. All right, boys, it's testimony time. Pay attention. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree about 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime, pal. This was his 5th heist. As usual, he sent a card to Lord the Tailor. His pattern's always to go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then, the actual identity of this masked mask is... but, Mr. Godot, what are you... What is he doing? Sir, this is a court of law. Can you hold on to your coffee for later? We're in the middle of a trial here. Blacker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed. Okay, very well. It's only coffee, after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial? Yeah, what a farce. I don't even drink coffee. Do you have any tea? Who do you think is hotter, Godot or Phoenix? Listen, Godot might have, like, a rawer, sexier energy to me, or, like, in general. But I think Phoenix has the charm that I would be more attracted to. You know, some people who have that really sexy energy, they're really hot to look at, and you're like, wow, you're beautiful, and I feel this, but you wouldn't feel comfortable, like, sitting in a room with them. I feel like that's the vibe I get from Godot. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you gonna do? As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Mask to Mask who stole the urn. That's a very weird way to go about this trial. We're trying to clear Mask to Mask of the crime. Curtis Price! Every time I hear that name, all I can think of is those Mask for Mask guys on certain apps. Oh my god. Alright, let's press everything, I guess. Have you been involved? Oh, Jesus. These voice cracks are gonna be the death of me. Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning? Yep! Nobody knows more about a thief than me, pal. It's true. I'm Zavari, author on thieves. Oh, jeez. Someone's been spending some time with Atmey. An author? He's written books on thieves? I think he probably meant to say authority. Yeah, the fact that this guy can slip through even my fingers shows he's pretty good, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. Let's press harder. So, nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal! Well, except for maybe the thief's mom, that is. But isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police? Oh, you don't mean Detective Zvari, do you? Who is this person? Zvari. Sounds German. His name's Luke Atmey, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him. What the heck? I guess he's not at all that famous after all. Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole. Oh, I see. Seems you're not the expert you claim to be. Oh, poor Dick. It looks like the thief is toying with me, even now. Alright, okay. Press onward. Have you seen all of these so-called calling cards? Of course I have! Well, except the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police. So I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred. That's weird. That's because Detective Atmey stopped Miss Andrews from taking it to the police. Right. Thank you for the reminder. But that's still weird. Was the calling card that Lord the Tailor received authentic? There's no such thing in a Phoenix Wright game. There's no such thing as a trivial detail. Everything matters. So we have to figure out, why does that matter? Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature, pal. But we're not releasing that information to the general public. but you are absolutely certain that this card is real. Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but I bet he's talking about the mask-to-mask emblem. This is 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card on to Lordly Taylor. His 5th heist, and your 5th screw-up, huh? Phoenix! Don't roast this man alive, please! Objection, pal! That ain't fair. Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times. But this last time wasn't my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time. You know, you of all people shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe. I just want everyone here in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away. You got me? Wow. Looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atmey. Yeah. Listen, they're competing to be the alpha male. Art pieces. Like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous tear of Eminon. What's that? Some kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir, it's a blue diamond. Single rare diamond. Next was the crown of Bangora. You know, the thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Megina. Sir, Detective Atmey retrieved the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum. And the target of his 5th and last robbery was the sacred urn, right? What? Isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces? Well, we assume he must have had some underworld connections. You know, somehow Mr. Delight doesn't look like the type. Yeah, he's a little bit too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. I don't know, Phoenix. Sometimes it's the people you suspect the least that are the most evil. So we weren't sure it was Mask to Mask if it's his, or we were sure it was him. Wow, I keep getting my statements backwards. What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T? You know, I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. Oh, I wish you would listen a little more closely. First of all, there's the calling card. We're 100% sure it's authentic. Then there's the fact that he seemed to know about all the security systems. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all part of the thief's modus operandi. And so, since this robbery seems to fit all those conditions, that's right! Means that Mask to Mask is behind it. Nick, it definitely looks like it was Mask to Mask who stole the urn. Yeah, but there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron Delight is Mask to Mask. But, also, the urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone in connection to Mr. Delight himself. So, even though we know it was Mask to Mask that did it, maybe for the time being, I should try to show it wasn't Mask to Mask that did it. Right. Okay. Well, let me look at my evidence really quick. Sacred urn. Sent before a heist. I will be coming. Oh, wow, we never read this before. To the security at Lordly Taylor, I will be coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasures of Corraine exhibit. Take good care of the speckled urn, won't you? Yours truly, Mask to Mask. The speckled urn? What part of this looks speckled to you? Alright, camera data, the warehouse camera went off around 1 a.m. We got that, he was knocked out. We got a picture of him. Interesting. Blackmail letter. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 o'clock a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Huh. Found at KB Security, found in Ron's wallet, opens the KB Security office. A shot of Mask to Mask, striking a pose. Strike a pose! Okay. So let's see what statement seems weird to us. He sent his calling card even before he commits the crime, that's fine. This was his 5th heist, and as usual he sent a card onto Lordly Taylor. His pattern is always to go after only the most precious art pieces. I mean, so maybe we could do this, because it actually does write it. I was gonna ask, like, can we say that the urn is worthless? And I thought that as a joke, but like, it actually says it. It says supposedly priceless, but it doesn't have any monetary value. Let's try it. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question's making me nervous, pal. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's a problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean, pal? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price, Maya. We gotta be honest. Just as I'm honest about this music being a bop, well, Professor Godot, what is the value of that urn? Or prosecutor, professor. The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So, in other words, it was not the kind of item that Mask to Mask would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Mask to Mask. Yes, that is what I am saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. I mean, the argument made itself, but... Thunder Phoenix 256, hello, welcome to the chat. I used to not like this objection theme, but it's really grown on me. Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Mask to Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? I should really be taking my water sips on par with him. This coffee here, it's my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. Trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. It's the only thing I've got on my mind right now. Mr. Trite? Yeah? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. What do you mean? Wait, what? If you're saying it wasn't Mask to Mask who stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Mask to Mask's methods. A fake. A fake Mask to Mask? Fake Mask to Mask? That sounds so ridiculous. But you know what? I kind of like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trite. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. I guess that's on me, isn't it? Alessio! I was a little thrown off when this music played again because I thought it was Mia's leitmotif only. The Godot music or the whatever? I'm really bad at remembering whose music goes with who. I can hear it, but titles, they're not my thing. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior. His point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Alright, it looks like I'm gonna have to prove this. I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was in fact a fake Mask to Mask. So I already have a hypothesis. We have two different photos of Mask to Mask. We've got the picture Maya bought, the publicity photo. And then we've got a photo of him at the actual place. So I think we're gonna play a spot the difference. Let's study this. He's got little shoulder paddy thingies. He's got a giant ass emblem right there. He's got a nice little smile. He's got an emblem on his hat. He's got two feathers and he's got some cuffs. Let's look at the other photos, see if anything looks suspicious to us really quick. Oh yeah, sure enough, he doesn't have the big giant emblem on the middle. Is this the right idea? I don't know, but it's a discrepancy, and I know that discrepancies always mean something. Throw it at him. The proof is right here, Your Honor. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Peculiar. Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this pointer and show us what about this picture is. Yeah, you heard what he said. What's so peculiar? It's this bulge, actually. If you look, therefore, this V, the shape, the way it comes out just a little bit, Luigi has got nothing on this man. Actually, this man's got nothing on Luigi, let's be fair. No, let's stop being gross. It's up here, actually. It's right here, of course. You mean Mask to Mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Hey, isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? Maya always saving our ass, even when she doesn't think about it. The problem I have with this security camera photo is the brooch on Mask to Mask's chest. A breach. Here? Bailiff, get my steed, we need to retreat at once. A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp? I see now. But the mask in the security camera photo. He has no brooch. That brooch is the same thing as the emblem on Mask to Mask's calling card and serves as a symbol. Changeling DJ. George, game now, thirst later. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this Mask to Mask is a fake. I've been fooled again. Order? It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? Sorry, pal. I don't know how yep, we're drinking. Drink up, boys. Oh, no, we're not. Hey, now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a brooch? Huh. The brooch you're talking about? Do you mean this? Wait, that's Mask to Mask's brooch. Where did you find that? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? Does he mean the Amy Faye statue? Ami Faye? Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. Is that legal? This guy's one cool customer. Maya, keep your panties on. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too. What? Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. Ron Delight's fingerprints. Oh, no. Wait, what? What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order in the court! Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Jeez. Alright, Phoenix, we have a problem. Found in the shadow of Ami Faye's statue, looks like it was torn off of some clothing. You mess with Godot, and you get burned. It's been playing me like a violin. Gashunk! Hello! New viewer here, still working on the 1,000-Year Door Let's Play, but it's so good. Aw, shucks. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you like Phoenix Wright too, and when you get the time, I hope you are more than excited to check out these cases that we're going through. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. Wait, what? You're done with me? I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. It's good enough. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness to the courtroom. Alright, finally. Time for the ace detective to make his appearance. Oh my god, it's Atmey. Zavari! 1 second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry up. Shh! Silence! Oh. Therefore, yeah. Ha! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? Zvari! The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Wow. The greatest detective to ever exist. Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Atmey, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens, with a little bit of a stutter. Boy, these two make the perfect pair. Yeah, they'd either be best friends or lovers. Wait, what? No, or they'd tear each other's heads off. I've heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone on security detail. You've heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe is worth anything, that is. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. Alright, boys. Let's get another testimony. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the dates changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Alright, what is this shot, though? You were in a security basement. Why am I looking at the moon? Why am I looking at a man flying? Why so melodramatic? Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. 30 minutes? So, you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Haha, Judge, get him! Well, sir, old-timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but the king of thieves, the great Mask to Mask, my arch-enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I intend to. This guy didn't see jack shit. Why are we even taking his testimony? Alright. Just after the date change. I think that makes sense, actually. To my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me. What do you mean by that? Dancingly descended? From where exactly? Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. God damn it, someone save me. So how was it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes. I hereby W Ace Dunce. Frank, hello there, George. Hope you are once again having a most wonderful evening. I must say, I hope you will find Godot an absolute legend. He's a very calm, cool, collected man. There is something intriguing about that. Alright, just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I can recall. It's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera at the ready. It captured his image perfectly. This should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem. We just threw a discrepancy at the photo, Judge. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? I do. Objection. Good. So let's continue with this testimony. Wow. Okay, I guess I'm just chopped liver. Darkness swallowed me. Great, great, great. And then when you awoke, he was gone. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been so suddenly struck on the head? Actually, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. By a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I forgot who I was. I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with. Is that how it works? You may have brains, but the wiring of self-reflection parts seems to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless. And then... This is suspicious. Why 30 minutes later? About this 30 minutes. My silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. What? As usual, I don't know what he's saying, Mr. Nick. Or Nick? I think he's saying he was out cold. So what happened during these 30 minutes? No one can say, Your Honor. That span of time has truly vanished into the ether. Just what is he going on about? You know, there's something suspicious about Detective Atmey. How could he have not noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. But that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence. Really? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Interesting. Just when I began to turn. Fierce blow upon my noble head. What evidence do we have to contradict that? This is related. Blow to the back of the head. Is the lie that he turned around? I mean, what evidence do we have that he was hit on the back of the head? Warehouse camera went off at around 1 on the night of the crime. Looks like it was torn off some clothing. Let's press this first statement. So that would be 1 o'clock in the morning of the 12th, correct? That's an impressive deduction, Sir Lawyer. Yeah, right. You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse, near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So, you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said that they've never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before. Precisely. That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure. On your pigeony head, that is. In any case. So my nemesis just instantly descended upon me. Let me read that last statement again. He says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. And that can't be right, it contradicts the evidence. Alright, I have a couple of ideas. I don't know if any of them are right. Just as I began to turn, darkness swallowed me. Before I could land a single strike. What's suspicious here, I think, therefore, because there is this brooch, it was torn off of some clothing. I think that he might have done it? Objection! Yeah, boys! Mr. Atmey, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Mask to Mask. It is, in point of fact, Mask to Mask's brooch. Yes, it was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. And I wonder how that happened. Huh, elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. No, you're fucking lying. Not quite. Clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Aha! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. Also known as, oh, that's right, you, Detective Atmey. Oh, his eyes, so dark. Detective Atmey, you must have fought with a thief that night. So, why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, Sir Old-Timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. You know, I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I have been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measurement of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right? You know, you talk too much, Maya. Witness! So, are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. It's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I, Luke Atmey, agree completely. Alright, new testimony. Let's see what he's got this time. Thunder Phoenix 25 says, yes, Judge, get him. Yeah, the Judge really displayed a little bit of backbone there. I love it when he does. He's normally so weak-willed. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atmey cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists. But they were not enough. His first blow struck me. Bam! And that's all she wrote. So, in the end, did you catch a glimpse of Mask to Mask? Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. Seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That's definitely not a good thing. Alright. I guess let's press everything. That seems to help me. So you looked away for a brief moment. And why did you do that? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. Yes, right. Walk elegantly. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer. What should I do? Should I ask some more questions? That's enough. About the sensor, about the computer. About the sensor. What kind of sensors are you talking about? There are other places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up a heat detecting infrared and ultraviolet sensors up to each of them. It's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor Department Store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, you couldn't have rigged the equipment. Has that cleared up any doubts you had about me, Sir Lawyer? However, Luke Atmey cannot be so easily discombobulated. Let me go back to this. I want to ask the other question also. Why'd you look at the door? Yeah. About the computer. So, did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specifically designed by me, Luke Atmey. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. Exactly. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? That's suspicious. Right, can't be so easily discombobulated. What does that mean, discombobulated? Phoenix, come on, it's such a great word. Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Right, sorry, but what does it mean? Blast it, now I've forgotten what I was saying. Jeez. It's better than old people who forget what they say 5 seconds after they said it. Well, looks like we cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony. What do you mean by a weapon from the side? Naturally, that thief had no idea I, Luke Atmey, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shichishito. So, the thief armed himself with a sword. What about yourself, witness? Judge is a boomer confirmed. True gentleman puts only his own fists, but they were not enough. Really? You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities. You never really struck me as a scrappy kind of guy. But of course, in college, I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in this ring the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Mask to Mask. This guy's a real piece of work. His first blow struck true, bam, and that's all. Do you ever think that, like, maybe some people have an arch nemesis? Do you think that some people who have arch nemeses are people who are like, you know, it's all in their own head, where it's like, You've got this person who's like, I hate them. They're trying to ruin my life, but the other person literally doesn't even know that you exist. And they're like, wow, sweetie, you really live in my head or I really live in your head rent free. And that's all she wrote. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. Powericious, right. I assumed the Atmey fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more about this? Yes. The Atmey fighting style. You were blinded. What do you mean? What was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in a golden light that seemed to come from the statue of the woman. The statue of Amife, I'm guessing. Well, that wasn't very much help at all. What do you think, Nick? There's only one thing I'm absolutely sure of now. Yeah, what is it? He's definitely hiding something. But why? I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the nature of this detective. Alright, so that wasn't a very satisfying answer for me. Can we go back to the end one and ask the other question? Collect as much info as we can. That's my strategy. Yeah. Great. What is this Atmey fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the Atmey fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about that testimony? It was very important, Your Honor. We've learned a detective's secret technique, after all. Technique. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone later tonight. The heck is he eyeballing me like that? Now then, witness. We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. Alright, well that's not what we have in the court record for the Shichishito. It says he was knocked out during the crime with a blow to the back of the head. I don't know if we have evidence that would prove it was to the back of the head, though. I thought that was just because it was his own testimony. Which maybe that's enough. We could be like, hey dude, you lied. You said the back of the head earlier. Let's throw it at him, see what happens. Detective Atmey, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. Ah, what fun is this, Sir Lawyer? It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. Whoa! Sir, buy me dinner first. Or let me buy you dinner first. Wait, which one of us is gonna top? Clearly me. Let's look at you. Oh my god. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No! The coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere beside the door. Then, my arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now, you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I've made another mistake. Nah, Phoenix isn't having none of your bull. Detective Atmey, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? Well, for example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is quite strange. Thank you for bringing it up. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Yeah. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. Bold of you to assume Phoenix is a top. Come on, Phoenix radiates top energy. That's wrong. Whoa! I'm sorry for that delayed reaction. That was his voice? Holy shit, I can... sorry, boys. This little high-pitched, squeaky voice of mine, it doesn't go that low. Did you hear that? He was like, objection. Holy shit. To err is human. To forgive, divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls. Feelings. They live, they die. They love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Now, hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. Really? What's it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This is so it. This music is telling me this is it. This might be my chance to turn things around. Flip the logic on him. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that... Oh, jeez. Mr. Atmey is no ace detective. This Mr. Atmey is a fake! He's a phony! Everybody's a fake. When you're in trouble, just say that you're a fake. Mr. Atmey is mask to mask. That would be an interesting way to turn this around. Let's do it! It's a bold statement. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually mask to mask. Whoa! Oh my god. Oh, we're going places. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure?
Well, that's because I analyzed the crime scene data and I made exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a...
No, you can stop your talking right there. Please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are in fact mask to mask.
Yeah, but Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows mask to mask.
Yeah, so what? He could have put on a costume. He was the only one there.
The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor Department Store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it.
He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn.
Oh, so the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness?
Boys, look at how good we're doing. Aha!
Damask's memo is pure genius, and so am I. Look at me, I am an ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, sir lawyer.
Oh my god.
What? Witness, are you admitting it?
Nick, now's your chance. Yes. Okay, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you... Oh! Oh my god, Phoenix, oh no! Oh man, he shot me down. Boys, I was getting so hyped. We were steamrolling there. That was such a good roll. Alright, boy, I'm ready for you to ruin this for me. Oh. Why are there bots in the chat? I don't know how to get rid of bots. They're a thing with YouTube. I guess I could try to ban them, but I feel like they just show up every now and again. Frank, at the end of the game, Godot would be like, this is my rule number 17687574798878744656774465687896857. Okay, I'm done. Just think I was gonna read that whole comment. Godot blends number 102, my personal favorite. Oh my god, his eyes! Phoenix! Oh, Jesus, you gotta get that off. You gotta run your face under some cold water that's gonna blister.
Mr. Godot!
The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true.
But, Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I
will admit, my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of the whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Wright, if this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Wow. Max, I love that sprite so much.
Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have. Quickly.
Yeah, right. I was just getting to that, Your Honor. Don't worry. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Okay. Atmey looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. David Mahone, I'm not a bot! At least I don't think I am. But if I was a bot, I would not identify as a bot. So, I need Mr. Wright to solve this puzzle. Here, let me send you a bunch of pictures and you click on all the ones that have fire hydrants. Then I'll know if you're a bot. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Atmey is in fact mask to mask is... Oh shit. Oh, we have to say if we think we have it or if it's not found yet. Decisive evidence that he is the guy. I don't think we have that. Decisive. We need definitive proof. Everything we have is at best circumstantial. I mean, there's the calling card. But that's not... There's no way to connect that to him. I don't think we're supposed to finish it yet is the thing. My hunch is that there's gonna be another part to this trial and another part to the investigation. I think we need more evidence. There's a lot of loose threads here. We still don't know where the urn is. And how he did it. The evidence is his jawline. Honestly, he does have the jawline that matches. But we also came to the conclusion that that nose could never. Absolutely not. Also, he's got more of a butt chin. You know, as we look at it, Ron Delight's chin really does fit in there. I don't know. Let's try has yet to be found. Let me save. Let me save confidently because I know exactly what I'm doing. It's yet to be found. Proof? I've got nothing. Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad it gets after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. Shoot! It's no good, I gotta stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy's the thief. Alright, don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. Oh, yep, this was wrong. But, are you gonna just give up and let us lose this thing? So, you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? Nope, I can't think of a counterattack. Well, it seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have oh, hold it! Yes, save my ass, please. Who? Oh my god, I was... Alright, in the list of characters I was not expecting to show up here. Desi? Girl, what are you doing here? Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Miss Delight, what are you doing here? Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. You mean that bag? Oh, we wanted to look in that. No, not the bag. What's inside the bag? Well, the vase! The sacred urn! Nick, it's the urn! It's covered in paint. Order! Madam! That urn, where did you find it? Well, you'll never believe it. I was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants' detective, Luke Atmey. Oh, Desi, you're the best. Sacred urn updating the court record found in the office. Luke Atmey has pink splotches all over it. Oh, and it's put together correctly. It says Amy. It's been altered. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atmey? Her code is amazing. Even you are gonna have a hard time weaseling out of this one. Oh. Objection. Huh. Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Atmey was involved? Forecasting aspirations on Detective Atmey. Consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight, is that correct? Yes. What about it? Oh god, he's gonna connect her to Ron Delight and say that she's covering for her husband. How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. There it is. What are you insinuating? Oh, look at the sprite of her. Girl, you're beautiful. As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. Yikes. So, you found the urn. What does that prove? Certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Is there a way to prove that, though? Please, madame. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound this tragedy we've been witness to. You're wrong. I would never. I wouldn't do such a thing. Miss Delight. Please, Nicky boy. You gotta help talk some sense into these people. There's gotta be some way. I've gotta prove that the urn was actually in the Atmey Detective Agency. Testify about what I saw. We could testify. That's valid. We could kind of testify. The bag was in there, and we felt something in the bag. It's interesting that that's brought up. show fingerprints on the urn. I don't know. Detective Atmey probably was a guy who wouldn't leave fingerprints. He's a professional thief and he wears gloves. And I can't prove anything yet. Well, even a testimony isn't proof, but we can at least try. What's wrong? Isn't your job to come up with something to say? Nick, come on, it should be easy to prove. After all, we checked out that bag, didn't we? You're right. I remember doing that. Whatever was in there, it was hard and round and smooth, too. Yeah, it had to have been the urn. It must have been. But I didn't actually see it with my own eyes. Atmey walked in just as I was about to have a look at it. So even if it was the urn, I can't testify that it was. Oh, damn it. Shoot. Alright, yeah. Alright, circle back, let's try again. Mr. Wright, have you given up yet? Not yet. Alright, let's try the fingerprints. Maybe he's not a good detective. Maybe he left fingerprints all over the thing. Let's check it for fingerprints. Fingerprints, eh? Come on now. Now you're making me laugh, Mr. Lawyer, sir. Fingerprints, indeed. All right, Frank. Fingerprints, George. Why don't you check that? So, like, my reason I thought fingerprints would be a bad answer is because, look, he's wearing gloves. Whenever characters wear gloves, that, like, kills the fingerprints argument, I think. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I am always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you see. So, unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. They would mean nothing anyway. Hang on a second. It looks like he's wearing gloves there, too. Nick, what are you gonna do now? Well, I've come too far to turn back now. Look, Atmey must have brought this urn back to his office yesterday, and there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. Someone. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. Oh! Mine! My fingerprints would be on the urn. I touched it. It was smooth, it was hard, it was round, and I don't wear gloves. My dirty little paws were all over that boy. It's Phoenix. Wow. There's that light bulb moment. Oh, dude, amazing. So, what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atmey, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey, Nick, come on, open it up. If I remember correctly, the voice of Godot was made by someone in the translation team, not an actual voice actor. Really? I feel like, I don't know if I'm imagining it or not, but I feel like someone told me that, like, a bunch of the, characters, at least for, like, the English translation, like, for the localization team, a lot of localizers on the team did voices. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Someone fact-check that for me. But I thought something similar happened with, the voice of Francesca from the last game. Francisca von Karma! I'm pretty sure that applies to everyone in the trilogy. Yeah, so Thunder Phoenix, you just said it. They didn't start hiring professional voice actors until the 3DS games. Gotcha. Right. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. Alright, this all happened yesterday. You guys remember, you were here. I put my hand in there. I put my hand inside of a box and I gave it a little feel around. I was like, wow, what is that? It is true, I didn't get the chance to look in the bag at the time. But I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? Oh, I touched it. And I remember it very well. It was very smooth and it was very hard. Oh, well, that was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atmey's office. What you got to object to? Yeah, slam your coffee. Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn. Still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Oh, of course it does. Why? It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. Oh, God bless her in cleaning the thing off. Bobby, this game is much more confusing for me than Paper Mario. If she polished it that much, she would have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Atmey Detective Agency. Huh. This blend. Godot Blend 107. I've decided it's a little too bitter after all. We burned him, boys! Order! I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying? I've broken them. Have I? Oh! Oh my god, my god's like, whoa, his face. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruit. Maya! You see, it was me all along. I'm the one and only Mask to Mask. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. Oh. Whoa, my dude's a little bit scary. He might be a serial killer. I love that Godot sprite. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atmey's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like this matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. Oh, wait.
You're wrong. Wrong, I tell you. Not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say.
Oh, no. No, why do all of my clients do this? Lana did it. Someone else did it. I've had multiple clients who do this shit on me. I declare, I get them found not guilty, and they're like, no, I did it. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're making my life so much harder. I'm gonna charge you extra for this. I deserve to get such a good bonus.
The thief. The sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing the treasures. It's me. I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. So do it. Pronounce me guilty, please.
I don't know what kind of a kangaroo court you all think this is. Yeah, please object. The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judge.
What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you.
Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Hey there, Mr. Thief.
Yes, sir?
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry? I'm afraid I don't have any idea what you mean.
Edgeworth and Lana, that's it. Okay, but still, in my opinion, having 2 clients who keep saying that they're guilty when they're not is 2 clients too many, and this is now 3, okay? So 3 is a lot. If you are mask to mask, then prove it. That's what it means.
Yes, sir. I'll be happy to.
He says I'll be happy to, Nick. It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to his little fantasy. Good boy, just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man.
I know that. I won't fail. I swear.
Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well, let's all have a listen to this confession then. Oh, just when I thought I was done for the day. Alright, dude. Confess. Let me save your ass.
Well, the truth is, I've been playing Mask to Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm actually not Mask to Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and instantly descended upon the scene of the crime, huh? Look, you can see it right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, well, I snagged on the door handle. It got torn off, that's all.
I don't like the direction this trial is taken. Judge, this is how every trial goes. At least with me, anyway. You're doing great.
Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only gonna get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and true Mask to Mask.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot.
I'll do my— Wow. What a weird character dynamic we've got going on right now. Alright, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Alright. I guess let's press everything. Yeah, you've been him all along. Tell me more. Look, you may think you're the real Mask to Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional.
I haven't told Desi yet about my true identity. I mean, believe me, I got my reasons.
With the way her room is decked out, how could she not know about it? Even thieves have complicated family situations, I suppose. Alright, what should I do? Looks like we're about to get sidetracked again. Press harder. So, why were you withholding the truth from your wife?
Well, first of all, I don't think she believed me anyway. And second, if there's one thing that Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals.
If that's the case, then why did you ever start thieving to begin with?
Well, you see, Desi's crazy about shopping. You know, she's a real shopaholic. But she's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desiholic.
So you do have a complicated family situation after all. Alright, that's enough. Let's continue with your testimony. I'm begging of you. Can't prove that I'm not him, can I? I can try. I thought you were gonna be the one to show us the proof that you are him. You know, that you're the real Mask to Mask and not just some kind of obsessed fanboy.
Hey! That's not fair. Why do I have to do all the hard work anyway?
Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim. That's how things work. When you make a claim, you have to be the one to back it up. Ugh, this is my issue with conspiracy theorists. Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. It's time to put it to work already. Right, I need some kind of proof that Ron couldn't possibly be Mask to Mask. Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we? Yeah, for the time being, maybe I need to shift strategy. I should try to show that Mr. Delight couldn't have stolen the urn. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to try and establish an alibi for him. And I think I have a I think I have an idea of how it might play out. I think these other pieces of evidence are about to come into play. About, like, the KB security room. Because this was found in the building around 1 a.m. the night of the crime. So I think we're gonna try and place him at a different scene than the crime. Doesn't have an alibi. Let's dig into this not having an alibi. Okay. You've got no alibi, are you sure? I've been a judge for a long time. This is the first time I've ever heard a defendant brag about not having an alibi.
But I tell you I was in Lord the Tailor that night. No. That's too vague. Even for me, to be more precise, I was down in the basement warehouse.
Hold on. What is it, Nick? Where was Ron Delight when the crime happened anyway? If we can prove he had an alibi after all, this case will be a piece of cake. Well, you're right, but... You think you can prove that? Wake up and smell the coffee. Well, I think maybe I can. Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence that shows the defendant had an alibi? I think I do, actually. I have the evidence. Or do you still think I'm some sort of third-rate rookie? This is my 3rd year, I'll have you know. Oh, never seen you this angry before. I'm not surprised. Anger is the last refuge of the pathetic. Thought I was more confident than angry. Well then, let's see this evidence already. Show to the court the evidence that proves where your client was on the night of the crime. Alright. Gladly. Found in Ron's wallet. I think it's Ron's wallet. I think for sure it's Ron's wallet. One second. Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct?
Yes, it does. I lost it somewhere.
Oh my god. I'm suddenly... Someone help me out with the meme. I'm getting the meme in my head. This wallet, it's yours, right? It has your ID in it. Yep, that seems right to me. So I'm going to return it to you. Here you are. Oh, that's not mine. I don't know the words, but it's Patrick and Rayman, and they're trying to give a wallet. You guys know where I'm going with this. I don't know why I'm bringing it up. It's just, that's the scene that played out in my head just now, and I thought I would share. Okay, let me get back into the job that I'm doing here, right? Being a lawyer.
I lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away. No, you don't exactly understand. You see, this is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice you lost your wallet?
Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But, no, I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner.
This wallet was found at approximately 1 o'clock a.m. at the KB security headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Oh, I'm serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB security that night.
No!
So, if the defendant was at KB security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi.
No.
Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong.
You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. For you.
He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. He has like a kid his first day of school.
Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was the wearer and not at the heist.
Planted it there? It's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? It's the key card to KB Security's CEO's office.
No.
Ha. It's a pretty good try, Mr. Wright. Fortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. And what's that? Motive, of course. Why would this thief go to the KB security in the middle of the night? I'm so glad you asked. He was being blackmailed. Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all. Don't worry. Let's see your evidence. I got you. Frank! This ID is your ID, correct? Yes. And this ID was in your wallet, yes? And this wallet must be yours. Makes sense to me. Then take it. That ain't my wallet. That was it. Thank you. It was gonna bother me the rest of the night. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct?
That's...
What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents anyway. Blackmail. Yes, basically it says bring $50,000. It certainly sounds like blackmail, all right. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. Ugh. Yeah, boy, what you gonna do? Drink that coffee, burn your throat. Sue McDonald's. Order! So, when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. Looks like a perfect case for the defense. Yeah, what you gotta say? You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... well, let's just say that my gold Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. Yeah, get on with it, boy. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company, but did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Well, no, I guess I didn't. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof? I'm not sure what I think of that. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. Corroborate. Nick, I think we're gonna have to track down the CEO guy. No, we actually don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? There is someone who can testify. This is the person who can testify that a key card was used at 1 a.m. that night. Oh, dear God. We're not gonna bring him on the stand, are we? He's here, age 25. My friend picked up Ron Delight's wallet while working the night of the crime. He's a security guard. His name is Butts. Harry Butts. Well, who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. Whoa, why is the game gonna do Larry so dirty like that? It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. Yeah, he probably blocked it out for his memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh. The question at hand is the key card. Yep, that's the key card they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one's for the CEO's office. You need it to get into that room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record, bro. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. Bring in the butts. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this keycard's data. Oh! Wow, his whole mask bent. Cyclops got a little bit broken there. Okay. Oh, wow. Do we not have to bring him in, actually? We were just able to pass him the security card. Well, Mr. Godot? The name of the CEO at KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data here. So, what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. the morning of the crime. Perfect. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as the Master Mask in this photo. Huh. Looks like you were right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then, do I win? Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Master Mask. Good job! You did it, Nick! Oh my god, was this maybe a short case that we were actually able to win one off? That's enough! I became so perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Again. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections? Nope. No, Your Honor. Let's wrap this up. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. We did it! Not guilty! Oh, for real! Dude! A not guilty in just one single trial. Okay. I mean, it's only the first case, so I guess it gets to be a little bit shorter. Court is now adjourned. Dude. Okay, what a successful day for us. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling proud. Boys, you can congratulate me now. Between heaven and hell, who's sliding down his coffees to him, though? And perfect timing, too, because it's about 8:30, so right when we want to be wrapping up. Judge was choking on Larry. October 13th, 224, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Nick, you did it! You were right after all. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delay. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Miss Delay. Congratulations, Mr. Nick! Pearls! I got a bad feeling about this. Why? Who's this one? Oh, this is why. Oh, no, don't look, Pearls. She's a nobody. Look, don't look at, please, don't look at her cleavage.
You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Pearls, she's a married woman. Pearly, this woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife.
Mr. Nick!
Yeah?
You're even worse than I thought.
Oh, God.
Going behind the back of your own client!
No, you got it all wrong. No, oh my god. Jesus.
I'll never forgive you.
Ow. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? Alright, yeah, I'm waiting for it, Maya. Let's go get burgers on Nick. We got the sacred urn back, and the thief has been caught. You're so right. It's all thanks to Nicky Boy here. Yeah, but the urn was still altered, which is still a bit weird. They changed it back to Amy. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us our urn back. Thank you, from the heart of my bottom. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. We won the case. Why does this guy still look so glum? I'm sorry that you can't be a thief, alright? You're gonna have to get over it. Listen, why don't you find another way to get attention? Post, like, some pictures of you in your underwear on Twitter. It'll get the job done.
But I am the thief. What's the point now?
That's weird. He's really not gonna drop it. You see, Is he actually the thief?
What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. No. I appreciate it, Sassy. But the thing is...
Come on. Give the kid some time. Whoa! My dude, you are very well built. Let me prove my posture a little bit here. Oh, yes. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Godot, what are you doing here? Come on, I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. I do like your crooked smile, though. Well, playtime is over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Cain Bullard was discovered. Oh, no. Cain Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? That was the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of KB Security. We got a murder on our hands, folks. Oh. What a way to pull a fast one on you, game. This whole time you're like, no murders, no dead bodies. It's larceny. It's a larceny case. Now we've got a dead body. And who was at KB Security? My client, who I just proved was at KB Security. I'm fucked. Isn't that the name of the CEO at KB Security? Wait, but body? Estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. Of course it was. Son of a bitch! What is this nonsense of a twist? A twist? 1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean. That's right, amigo. The same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then, what are you doing here? Surely you've got it figured out already. Or haven't you, amigo? Have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today? Helped me out with? What? On October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage. Oh no, and he's got a motive. Wait, what are you saying, imbrued with rage? Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard, an employee of KB Security. It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is gonna be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of like an anti-alibi. No way! Can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred. No, that's a lie. That can't be true. Oh, but I am a thief. That's why he wanted to be seen as a thief? Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time, charge is much more serious. You're gonna be tried for murder. This can't. No, dude. Looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick! Is there something personal between you two?
I don't know, we're gonna have to check the fanfic collections. It's part of Rule 34 on the internet. Returned from the depths of hell to battle with you. Do I know this guy? At least, let me have some fun while I'm here. Is he someone from a past game? This guy, who is he? Don't tell me. No spoilers. He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye, Mr. Delight. I'm trying to see if his jaw looks familiar in any way. Doesn't really. Nick! How could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes, our client's been arrested for murder! And the one who established his presence at the scene was me! Oh man, I'm such a bad lawyer! Yeah, Ronnie! Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck is gonna happen next? To be continued. Wow, bro. Who designed this? Alright, let me save my progress and catch my breath. Overwrite the data, of course. All right, so technically, we did solve a case. We solved the case of larceny. We showed that our guy's not a thief, and we showed that the urn was stolen by Detective Atmey. But we're getting kind of a 2-for-1 deal because now we have a second case, a murder case. What would a Phoenix Wright game be without murder? See, it's always murder. You can never let your guard down. If you think it's not murder, wrong. The murder's coming. It just hasn't happened yet. So I guess if you guys are interested in investigating this case further with me, I will be doing the investigation tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. I definitely hope to see you boys there with me, and I hope you are all equally as invested as I am. Of course, these games, the time flies for me when I'm with them, so I hope you guys like them just as much. If you've watched this whole thing, make sure you please leave your support. A like means a lot on these videos. It's really super helpful. If you subscribe to the channel, make yourself known. That would be fantastic, and I guess that's kind of it. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Toodles, boys!